Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today I have a 5v5 custom match here on the most amazing New Rockstars map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 on the northeastern side of the map, and then we'll end with Team 2 on the southwestern side of the map. Taking a look at Team 1's backline player, we have in Snow White, blending in with his environment quite nicely. It is Failsafe, playing as a Cybran. He is an 800. To the far west for Team 1, we have in Light Oak Tan. It is Legend Lord 2, playing as a Cybran. He is a 1600. Next door to him is the Seraphim player of Mass Blockader. He's playing in Forest Green as a 1400. In the middle for Team 1, we have in Tropical Ocean Blue is Ayahuasca Des, playing as a UEF. He is a 1400. And rounding out Team 1's lineup in Lighter Shred Pink, it is Azuros, playing as a Cybran. He is a 2100. He is a high-spreaded player on Team 1 and in the game overall. So over Team 1 side of the map, they have 1 UEF, they have 3 Cybrans, 0 Aeon, and 1 Seraphim. They're only missing out on the Aeon faction. Starting off with Team 2's rearguard side player, we have in Rust. It is Mr. Telemazer himself. Well, he can't do that himself because he's playing as a UEF, not a Cybran for this game. He is a 1200 again in Rust. To the far east for Team 2, we have in Ruby Red, it is Tesla Max, playing as a Seraphim. He is a 1600. To the west in Royal Blue, we have Tetra with a no expression face. He is a Seraphim. He is a 1200. To the north in Regal Purple, we have Dead Six, playing as a Cybran. He is a 1400. And rounding out Team 2's lineup in Imperial Gray, the one and only Aeon of the match, it is a Martyr 1. He is a 1900. He is the highest rated player on Team 2. Over Team 2 side of the map, they have 1 UEF, they have 1 Cybran, the one and only Aeon of the game, and then 2 Seraphim, which means Team 2 has all of the factions represented on their side of the map, and of course that means that Team 1 only missing the Aeons, but they have a little bit more Cybran tech than Team 2. And for these 10 players on the map, let's take a look at the reclaim situation before they scoop it all up. Currently sitting at 16,000 mass from reclaim, just about. So that means it's 1.6k mass per player. Definitely worth going after and scouring around the map and trying to get as much as possible. The major locations of reclaim, there's a 600 or so here, and of course mirrored up there to the north. There's another 400 over there. There's also a, is that a 1600? Well, that's 1,000. Looks like 1,600. 1,000 right about there in front of Tetra's position. And there's some more reclaim down in the south for the other players on Team 2 to grab. So everybody has a little bit of reclaim in front of them, or a lot of it. And then there is some towards the middle of the map. Speaking of the map, in terms of layout, it's going to be very constrictive with its land engagements. You can see kind of a nice little shot here that the middle of the map is cut with a deep gash. So kind of the upper section and the lower section, players are on the upper section of the map. There's a little bits of avenue to walk around in the middle of the map. There's one here, and then of course mirrored up there to the north. There's also the edges of the map that players can send units. But again, given the fact that it's such a more restrictive in terms of land game, we should see a little bit more air and, of course, a little bit more longer range tech, because players are going to eventually just get bottlenecked, and it's not really any point in engaging at that moment. You might as well just invest your mass into long-range stuff and get a little bit more efficiency out of it. We do see transport with some units inbound from Legend Lore dropping on, let's say, the reclaim spot, but a little bit more towards the west. There are some mexes on the exterior for players to grab, at least in the north. We see that quad mix position for Team 2's Martyr 1, and then he has another one back here. We also see, I thought I saw another one somewhere, maybe not. There's another kind of somewhat collection of mexes here. It's not as close as I would like to see it, call it a quad mix, but it's, you know, pretty much isolated from everything else, so we can call it pretty much that. And there is a Trimex. That's probably what I was looking for Martyr 1. There, we do see the units have been dropped off from Legend Lore, assisted by a bomber. So that first set of mexes for Team 2's Martyr 1 is going down. Not going to be happy about that. There also is a Trimex position in that, again, very narrow environment to the northwest. And of course, one mirrored in the southeast as well. Gun started for Dead Six in the middle of the map, going heavily aggressive first. It's going to be, again, a little bit more difficult to get to the other side of the map I mean, unless you want to send your comm over with a teleporter or transport, you have to go all the way around. And even if you get to, let's say, this point for Team 2, there's also this even smaller opening right here. So it's going to be very annoying to get to, let's say, the northwestern side of the map from the middle. You almost have so better off to just go all the way around. But we'll see what our players decide to do. Those units have mostly been dealt with from Team 1's Legend Lord. A couple of them trying to skirt the edge on that western side here for Martyr 1 to deal with. But there's one more Mantis remaining. And it looks like he's just going to try to do as much chaos as possible. Bomber should be inbound shortly from somebody to deal with that unit. Gun almost done for Dead 6. And we do see Team 1's Mass Blockader moving in towards the middle. Legend Lord dropped off some forces for that Tram Expedition. Gets a T1 PD immediately to try to keep it on his side of the map for as well, at least under his control, for as long as possible. Taking a look where other comms have decided to venture off. We see Team 2's Tesla Max and Tetra over here towards that southeastern side of the middle there. We do see Team 1's Ayahuasca has moved slightly this way with units dropped off by Azuros to assist with defenses. At least the smidgen did the same setup. Team 1 PD, a couple of facilities in terms of mexes, and then one land to pump out a couple of scouts. Southeastern corner wall sections immediately raised by Team 2's Tesla Max just to ensure no annoying scouts from Team 1 end up running by. And again, there's nothing in terms of mexes. There's no reclaim or anything. So really these kind of corners of the map are realistically just going to be, I would assume, ignored. Maybe longer term we'll see some units move around there, but without any incentive in terms of mexes or units stacking up from the other team, it's really not worth it to send your units that way. It's more better off to just send them down the middle this way, or to just transport them over. That also works too. We do see T2 started for Tesla Max in the middle, so getting a little more PD online. Dead 6 does have the gun upgrade now online. Is able to traverse the mountain a little bit more than initially was surmised. It looked like it was essentially a small neck. It's still small, to be fair, but it's a little bit wider than I initially thought. We do see a couple of trees there in this snowy environment. T1 PD is going to get outranged. And going to be the end of that little placement for Legend Lord. T2 started for Mass Blockader to the northeast. Again, this is a lower section. It looks like it's an upper section when you zoom out this far, but they are on the upper section, and these are the lower ones. Some of them aren't really going to be that useful, especially the ones towards the base of Dead 6 and Ayahuasca. They're just there. You can actually enter and exit them pretty easily, at least on that side, but it does dead end over here. So any units dropped off have to go all the way around to get out, or they just don't get dropped off there. That also works too. I do love the preliminary Team 1 AA emplacements from Ayahuasca just to disencourage Team 2 from heading that way. Do you see T2 Air online for Team 1's Ayahuasca. T2 Air online, not yet for Failsafe. He's going about 60% there. So 2 air players emerging for Team 1. Sorry, 3 air players from Mass Blockader from Team 1. Team 2, T2 Land, T2 Air, and I would assume maybe another one, maybe Dead 6 going for air, maybe not. At least one for Team 2. Gun started for Tesla Max in that crescent shape environment. We do see gun started as well for Team 1's Mass Blockader. Bomber dropping off on a couple of units. They're just kind of hanging out. Bomber is knocked out, but hey, it took out a unit or two. And the comm of Dead 6 is here again, with the narrow environment to escape if Team 1 ends up sending a lot of forces to overpower him. He doesn't have a lot of options to get out of there. Speaking of options, Team 1 dropping off another set of units. This time it's from Mass Blockader, dropping off some Zui onto the western edge of the map. Not a lot of defenders over here from Team 2, except the ones that are sent to the north from Martyr 1. Not a lot of defenders from Team 1's Legend Lord. He might send some bombers or something inbound, but they are closing in on his territory up there to the north. And the Team 2 transport still making its way. Interceptors inbound. Will it be able to drop the payload of units off or not? Oh, it will, and that's a lot of Zui in this base for Team 2's Martyr 1. Immediately targeting that T2 land headquarters. A lot of them reclaim. Some of them do get some shots off. PD not built in the base yet, but the P-gens do survive, so unfortunately it was unsuccessful, but lovely attempt nonetheless. We do see the comm of Dead 6 getting into it with the Cybrin Light Oak 10 colored units from Team 1's Legend Lord. They're discussing the differences and why which one is better in terms of color scheme. Tesla Max has T2 gun and missile on board. We're going to strike at some mexes from Team 1. At least that would be my assumption. Ayahuasca has T2 on board, and nothing really else encouraging in terms of land engagements yet in that southeastern side. Again, very standoffish from both of these players, from Team 1 and from Team 2, except for Tesla Max kind of just slowly moving in. And to the north, we do see Mass Blockader and Legend Lord 2 moving in. It's going to be a 2v1 scenario. No help, says Legend Lord. Well, we do see that Mass Blockader is going to go for some T2 PD. That will help at least keep Team 2 back for now. Dead 6 is going to push. And I hear bombers dropping a payload somewhere to the north. We see those units now being somewhat dealt with from the bombers from Team 1's Legend Lord. But look at this. All of these mexes are dead. There is a facility still pumping out bombers and a couple of mantis to assist as much as they can. But a lot of the mexes for Legend Lord 2 are down. He's going to be hurting long term because of that. And there's the shots from the commanders from Team 1 and Team 2. Dead 6 going after the Team 1 PD emplacement. Really trying to get rid of that Team 1. Isn't actually able to defeat it. And Legend Lord 2 coming in with his gun comp. Dead 6 is going to die here. He's not going to get out anytime soon. He's losing hit points incredibly quickly. He has some mantis going to try to assist and going after Legend Lord. But again, he's not going to make it out of there. PD coming in to assist a little bit from Team 1's Mass Blockader. And Legend Lord gets a kill. And a lot of that forward momentum that Team 2 was starting to gain has now been dealt with. Martyr 1 continues to push, wipes out almost all of the mexes for Legend Lord. Not doing well. And we do see they're now inbound to Mass Blockader's position. Legend Lord pushes in. There are blazes here from Team 2's Martyr 1. He's probably thinking it's probably not a good idea. You got your help, it looks like, says Dead 6. And they're talking about the PD. And the PD really didn't do a whole lot, to be honest with you. Legend Lord's dropping into the red. Sub 2,000 sub, 1,500 sub, 1,000 sub, 800, 700, 600, 500, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. There he goes. Counter killed by Team 2's Martyr 1. And it's now a 4v4 tied up game at 12 minutes on the dot. Which means the remnants of Legend Lord's base, be that as it may, will definitely go to Mass Blockader and Team 2's Dead 6. Looks like it did suffer some damage from something from Team 1. Maybe missile launchers would be the easiest. I do see a missile outbound from Team 1's Ayahuasca desk. And yep, actually no damage done by him, so never mind. Not him. Don't know if there's another missile launcher. That's a TMD. That's a TMD. I don't see any missile launchers anyway. That's another TMD. That's another Team D. So it looks like maybe forces landed. Maybe, possibly, maybe not a lot of the other structures dead. Weird. Yeah, I don't know what exactly killed that off, but it was dealt with eventually. So a base is somewhat demised. Then again, like I said, it wasn't Ayahuasca because those forces and structures were dead before I showed up to look at what's going on. Attack pointed up by Tetra is getting some TMB that will be able to deal with the missile launcher now on board that comm. But again, damage is done at least to Dead 6's base. So in terms of eco, Team 1 still winning, but again, not by much. The base for Legend Lord was decimated, and then Dead 6's base was decimated. So both of the players who died, their base is not looking too hot for their teammates to grab. A couple of bombers inbound, just thinning out the numbers for Team 2's defenders from Martyr 1. And we see a little bit of some PD creep from Mass Blockader on that, again, more crescent shape environment. Kind of reminds me a little bit of a Invader from Space Invaders. If you kind of cut those little arms off, it kind of has that rough shape to it. Anyway, eastern side missiles still being launched from Ayahuasca. They are being dealt with. Looks like actually the Team D is trying to be denied. So it does give a little bit more time to get something online. We do see that Tesla Max still pumping out shots of his own. He's heavily damaged. Makes me think he actually got hit by one of those things. He's not going to be too happy about that. He's at first star vet. Missile was reloaded. And he does have T2 on board. So again, not terrible, but not great either way. And to the north, still Mass Blockader still doing a pretty good job of keeping Team 2 back for now. T3 Air should be online for somebody on Team 1. T2 Air, nope. T2, nope. Looks like it's only T2. You would think that T3 Air would be online already for Team 1, but it's not. Mr. Telemazer has T3 Air online, producing some ASFs. Don't know why he's not producing out of that facility, but maybe there's not enough T3 Pigeon assistance is probably why he's not building it out of that one. But hey, he's building them nonetheless. And I will note T3 Land is online. Harbingers are on their way to the northern side against Mass Blockader's position. Again, not a lot of action. We have a couple of Selens. Hunters. With Hunters inbound from Team 1's Azuros. There are a couple of engineers nearby. Not a whole lot of stuff here. Looks like Flak, TMD, that sort of thing. But it's not really going to matter. T1 PD going to be built. They're going to deal with those Hunters quite nicely because they're just super, super weak. They are going after the engineers. They are going to kill off one of them. They probably will not kill off all of them in time. And there's the PD 1 and 2. But the second engineer is down. So, hey, 2 kills on the engineers for 2 Hunters. I think Team 1 will take that trade a little bit. Missile launcher inbound from the north. Barely gets taken down and protects that T2 mech, which makes me think there is a TML to the north, and I just missed. Oh, it's right there. I mean, 6 kills. That's definitely not the one that killed off all this stuff. It had to have been forces from Team 1. That's the only thing I can think of. Gunships inbound from Team 1's failsafe, going after the comm of Martyr 1. They are jesters. They're not very strong. Martyr 1 is going to take some damage. ASF inbound as well to assist from Team 2's Telemaze. It looks like some forces were dropped off from failsafe as well. He will drop the comm in the yellow, so he is damaged decently. He's going to ignore those jesters now that they're dealt with. And actually, some of those actually blew up. Looks like they were control K'd before the comm even got close. A couple of forces were dealt with. So he gets a little bit of veterancy, but looks like he didn't want to give the comm more veterancy than he absolutely had to. And in the south, T1 PD has been built by some engineers, and Tessamax looks like he was almost assassinated, but nope. Missile inbound immediately hits. Why didn't he scoop up the wreckage? Was that a misclick? I think that was a misclick. I don't think he meant to do that. But he's like, no, I will not grab that reclaim. It's not worthy of my touch. No. No, Team D pointed out by a Legend Lord 2 saying, hey, you could probably snipe some of those mexes over there. Lots of engineers online for Mass Blockader, just to scoop up as much as possible. Looks like he's probably full on mask. He's not scooping up. Oh, no, he still has some breathing room in his mask bar. There he goes. He's not scooping them all up yet. Looks like there are some engineers mixed in with the Medusa is what I was looking at. And we do see some of those Harbingers hanging out. Again, still a small environment, but does favor Team 1 a little bit because they are grouped together quite nicely in that AoE spread. As small as it is on those Medusa, will be at least a little bit more useful than normal. Failsafe going for an upgrade. Don't know what it is. Probably gun, my summation, or Ras. Could be Ras coming on board for him. It does look like T3 given over to Ayahuasca for something. T3 land is online for Azuros. Missiles still inbound. Looks like they're trying to hit some of those Harbingers. They move too late, or the missile fires too late for them to be able to use them against the Harbingers. But here they come. Team 1 engineers not going to be enough. Couple of T2 PD still in the mix. Mass Blockader is nearby. Lots of those Team 1 Sky Slammers inbound. Transport gets shot down. Don't know if it was Team 2s or Team 1s. Doesn't matter. The reclaim does go to Team 1. Harbingers, now they are breaking through. There's still more TMD for Team 1 to use to deal with them, but there's a lot of them here from Team 2. And he could so choose to go after Mass Blockader's common. Sorry, Mass Blockader, I kind of jinxed you there a little bit. Looks like Martyr 1 finally saw that, and there he goes. Team 1 loses another player before 20 minutes. A little bit over 18 minutes, and now it is a 4v3 in favor of Team 2 for the first time in the game. And that base, once belonging to Mass Blockader, will probably go to Ayahuasca. Could go to Azuros. It's going to go to Azuros. Let's see if he keeps it or not. He probably will keep it. We'll see what he ends up doing. Maybe it's going to be half and half. He'll go half over to Ayahuasca and half over, or keep half over to himself. But we'll see what he ends up doing with those bases here shortly. We do see a couple of bricks being produced. Again, there's nothing really happening down here. A couple of units walking back and forth. But again, this isn't the focus. We've had 3 players dead. We're almost right next to one another. There's one right there, and one right there. So all the action's been happening up on that northwestern side. And nothing really happening on the southeastern side. Missile inbound from Team 2's Tesla Max. He got transported over here. He is keeping that transport somewhat close to be able to get out of there just in case. Missiles inbound going after the A emplacements. There is some Team D being built pretty quickly. And looks like that Zapper does come online pretty nicely and finishes off that missile. Looks like one of the mexes was eliminated. At least T2 by my calculations or my assumptions. T3 maybe. But with the response time from Team 1, it's probably... Oh, nope. Those Team 1 tracers, those Team 1 AA emplacements are not going to be denied. Team 1 looks like if he gets the missile in, he might get 1 kill with it. Let's see. 1 shot. Oh, yep, there. Nope. Not even the AA is going to be denied. Azuros. Northwestern side's kind of quieted down again. Lots of forces starting to stack up for Martyr 1, but again, smaller environment, and where he's forced to go this way, which a little bit more breathing room, but it takes him longer to get anywhere near mission critical equipment, unless you count Ayahuasca, which I would. Ayahuasca's calm sitting here, but I don't think Team 2 knows that. Nope, this is what Team 2 knows on Team 1, and speaking of which, Martyr 1 was hurting for power for a moment. Not a lot of scouting from Team 2 onto Team 1. How's Team 1 doing on the scouting game? Even worse, because they don't know anything back here. So probably needs to fix it a little bit. Speaking of scouting, though, Team 1's Ayahuasca does get a nice little soothsayer online. And it does show a decent portion of the front line. But hey, that's a portion nonetheless. They know about the Harbingers that are inbound. And those exterior forces and facilities are soon to no longer exist. T2 upgrading to T3 going to be denied. And probably reclaim efforts from Team 2, I would imagine, just because it's right there and the Harbingers can reclaim. That is a thing that they do, or can do. So that is a nice little advantage. There's still missiles being shot from Team 1's position of Azuros. He has a lot of them loaded up, ready to go. Looks like he sent them in various different directions. Oh, was that an engineer that just got wiped? Ooh, he was building an AA emplacement. Well, it wasn't going to stop the missile, but hey, it was killed off nonetheless. Looks like the Mex is down. Another missile inbound. There's one Team D there that should be within range. Barely. And one shot. Two shot. Oh, barely. That Mex has been saved multiple times. Very, very, very close calls. There is a Team D there. Zapper kills off that one. And those Harbingers are inbound. Kills off that TML before it's able to finish launching its full payload. Unfortunately, but hey, it did get some shots off nonetheless, so at least he tried to use it. It's better to have the nuke launch and not land than have it not launch at all, would be my call on that front. Down in the south, T3 coming online here for Tesla Max is calm. He isn't UEF, so he can't go for Billy Nuke, but he can at least get some more hit points to protect himself with that engineering suite on board. Shield being built to protective forces here. Missiles raining in onto those bricks. Bricks are going to be fine for now. They are T2 missile launchers, not T3s. So it's not too bad, but I would like a Loyalist or two mixed in there just to help redirect at least some of the firepower. Not all of it, but at least some of it. Next door neighbor to Tesla Max, we have Tetra going for his T3 engineering suite. We do see some Harbingers being produced by him as well. Air being built. I love the early shield. Love to see it. He's trying to at least center the shield so it protects more of the facilities. Love to see that from Mr. Telemazer there. And we do see in the north, Ayahuasca a little bit being surrounded by some Harbingers, but he has some Ravagers nearby, so honestly, not terrible situation to be in. Blaze is mixed in there, and he's going to get some veterancy from this. Now going to probably get up to 4 if he's lucky. Almost 4. He's close. Probably a couple of missile launchers will be more than enough to get him over that 4-star hurdle. T3 now being built on a 0, so everybody going for T3 engineering suite, but it looks like the majority of those forces from Martyr 1 actually go northward. I feel like most of them should have been sent that way. Or actually, all of them should have been sent that way. Percy coming online for Ayahuasca to assist a little bit. TMD, PD, all the defenses coming offline. Mexos now being the main target. And in terms of eco, Team 1, again, barely in the lead, but not by much. We're talking just a 1 T2 mech single ring, maybe just the regular T3 mechs, no ringing. Like, there's not really a huge difference between these teams at 23 minutes. Gunships inbound from Azuros to help assist even more. Harbingers do inflict some economic damage. That mech survives. A couple of mechs do lose their mass storages, so they'll lose a little bit of mass per second. A couple of Harbingers stay behind. And looks like engineers are inbound to assist with reclaim operations. More Harbingers inbound. Would like to see more AA mixed in. Looks like a missile tried to land from Ayahuasca on one of those Harbingers, but he misses just barely. About, I'd say, not even 2-3 seconds earlier, and he maybe would have got him. T3 done for Tesla, T3 done for Azuros, and the attack from the bricks is inbound. T1 PD being spammed up as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, not going to be enough. There is a Sniper Auto 2 mixed in there from Team 2's Tetra, but it's not really going to work. There's a lot of firepower here inbound. Really, the comm needs to be here. Something looks like there's an Otham inbound. That's going to help out a little bit, but that Sniper bot needs to be falling back because it's super, super weak, and there it goes. Did not last very long. And not a lot of forces from Team 1 are devoted to this, but they're going to wipe out a lot of the defenses over here. There's TMD, there's shields, looks like there's a T2 radar installation. Obviously, a couple of mexes mixed in there as well. So it looks like it's not a lot, but given the fact that Team 1 has been launching missiles for a decent while now, those TMD going down there, not going to be fun. And looks like Legend Lord commenting about something from beyond the grave. Harbingers are inbound to the comm once again. Missile launcher probably going to be fired from the comm here shortly. Oh, there's the overcharge. Kills off that Harbinger. Gets him up to that 4-star vet. We have interceptors inbound, gunships inbound. That's going to be more than enough to deal with those Harbingers. Harbingers now in range. Another overcharge kills off another one. Bombers inbound to help thin out those hit points a smidgen more. But like I said, the Harbingers, it's going to be close, but now they're moving into Ravager range. 25 minutes on the clock. Ayahuasca will be hurting quite significantly. One of the Harbingers is distracted. Drops him below into the red. But again, the red for him is 5,000 hit points roughly, so he was fine. If the Whalers had not come in, he probably would have died. But at the end of the day, though, Team 2 did get a nice engagement on those Whalers. So they're gone, but the sniper attempt was denied. It looks like more Whalers are stacking up. Looks like Azuros didn't send all of them in. 25 minutes on the clock. And again, this is what Team 2 can see on Team 1 side of the map. So a little bit more vision or a little bit more intelligence gathering. Team 1, have you rectified the back line? Yeah, they have. They can see other placements of stuffs. Looks like these spy planes are being denied quite heavily by AA emplacements. Doing pretty well at just denying any sort of intelligence gathering. Oh, one gets kind of by. Ooh, that one actually kind of floated on by. And they'll get a nice little vision of what Team 2's up to back here. Nothing big ticket item yet. We're only about 26 minutes. Sometimes it's a little bit early for that. Sometimes it's not. Again, given the land disencouragement of land engagements from the actual map itself, kind of makes it a little bit harder to engage large groups of armies. You really have to have them come to you or you come to them, which is what's happening for Martyr 1. He's moving his forces into Team 1's position, which by all accounts should mean that the reclaim still favors Team 2, but again, not by much. And it's mostly being reclaimed by Azuros, and looks like for Team 2 it's Martyr 1 and Telemazer. But when the forces from Team 2 go to Team 1's side of the map, yeah, Team 2 isn't being attacked, but every unit that dies is easily reclaimed by Team 1 unless Team 2 can somehow keep the territory that they're pushing into. But with Perseus, and we have Othams, and other units starting to roam around, all these Harbingers that are dead, I mean, yeah, they killed off some forces from Team 1, that's great, but all of that mass is just going to Team 1, just giving mass, says Legend Lord, and he's saying that to his allies, but what's really happening is just they're giving them mass is really what's happening, because again, every Percy that's dead, yeah, that sucks, that's a new one you have to rebuild, but you're going to get all that mass, and you're going to get the mass killed from all of those Harbingers, so it's going to beef up those units that are there. A couple of them are at 1-star vet now, so that's 10% additional hit points, and a little bit of regen, so when the attacks come to you, if you can hold the line, that's reclaim for you. If you can't hold the line, that's a huge other thing. Oh, okay. That's a lot of TMLs. There are Vipers shooting at that, which, I mean, I would probably transition to either T2 stationary or T3 mobile artillery to deal with that. Missiles are inbound. They're going to try to overwhelm the defenses. Pinging is going down. There's one TMD here. There's another one being built over there. There comes that volley again. They are Cybrans, so when they're shot at, they actually split a little bit and still do some damage, or at least can do some damage. This is where Aeons would be a little bit more helpful. T2 mechs down, wipes out the everything. Another set of mechs is going to be hit. There goes that one. Another one's going to go down. And then another one's going to go down. So all those T2 single-man mexes are gone. Will you leave my poor base alone? It's already dead twice now. Yeah, that was that. I still don't know what attacked it the first time, but the second time, you definitely know what happened there. We have Team 1 mobile artillery coming in, just trying to take those shields down. They're being upgraded slowly, but they are being upgraded, which means that there'll be more protection for that suits there. There's a lot of zappers and TMLs in there. And those mexes are down. I'm surprised he didn't go after the T3 land headquarters, but I guess focusing on the income is one way to do it. Team 1 jumps out in front with the eco 1.2 to 1.3-ish for Team 1 versus Team 2's not even 1,000 mass. That's over 200 mass in favor for Team 1, closing in on 300. That's not looking good for the ratio for Team 2. They need to up their game on eco or deny eco for Team 1. I do see a couple of Monkey Lords One here and one here. This one is newly minted. This one a little bit older, and that's going to prevent more incursions from Team 2 for the time being. This is just such a weird. We have T1. We have T1 Medusa just shelling this position. They killed off a shield generator. That's something. They're weakening the shield just enough. And again, those PD are line of sight, which means they need to directly 100%. You know, it's a line. It's not a curve or anything to get to those units. So as long as they stay a little bit behind the cliff edge, they will not be hit by those Cerberus PD. A little unfortunate, but there's only so much you can do. He put himself into a corner quite literally, and was working initially, but now it's not working that much, and the shields are coming offline. And I think he's going to lose that shortly, but he might keep it a little bit longer. TML inbound kills off whatever was there. Still hasn't targeted the land headquarters, though. Still kind of disappointed he didn't go for it. And, of course, I did see the strat bombers and spy planes stacking up. Strat bombers, do not tell me you're going after... Well, if they go after Ayahuasca, he's right there. So there is that. Do they see him? No, do not tell me they're just going to target that TML base. A couple of... one was hit by a... Two of them were hit by a strat bomber. I think I barely caught that, but they saw Ayahuasca just for a brief moment. Oh, with those two dead, it wasn't enough to one-tap him. Oh, hero missiles from Ayahuasca. He gets barely saved by a couple of really, really, really lucky shots from those missile launchers. Ooh, yeah, you can see there's one dead there. The other one got reclaimed. Another bomber inbound. They're going to wait a brief moment. Shield's now online. He almost died there. But lucky missile launcher. I think I caught that. I did mention it, so at least there's that. Bomber drops, hits the shield, but there's too much protection now with the ASFs and interceptors here. It's not going to matter. So lovely attempt by Martyr 1 to get another kill to drop the game to a 4v2, but just that one, or I think it was two missiles because it hit two of the bombers. That was going to be enough to kill him. That's unfortunate, getting some Ravagers online to deal with the... This is such a... They're building stuff here to shoot stuff over the little hole to shoot stuff at this. It's so funny. I don't know why it's funny to me. It just is. You do see, speaking of which, we have Team 1's forces going in around, moving into Martyr 1's position. But there's a lot of Harbingers stacking up. They're not Percy, so they won't tap things a lot easier. They don't tap... They don't one-tap things as easy as Percy's do. See, I got it there at that point. But they are not to be trifled with nonetheless. Raz coming online for Teslamax. He is Teslamax. Telemazer, Teslamax over. Is he still over here? No, here's a chicken over here. Looks like he... Oh, no, he's on transport again. Looks like he's doing the thing again. Surprised he doesn't just put himself in here. But I guess it's kind of harder to escape there, to be fair. Those two Monkeyloids are inbound. Teleporter started. Ooh, Azuros has laser, and he's going for teleporter. Ooh, fancy. I'm going to go for the Telemazer, which with Telemazer can't do because he's not Cybern. But here comes the Harbingers. Some of them grouped up here. Most of them are over here. They need to get into a big clump and just engage. There's the order from Martyr 1 to move in. And there's that second Monkeyloid. They need to stay away from that as long as possible to deal with the first one first. But a lot of the forces are not going after the Monkeyloid. They're going after the additional forces from Team 1, which means the Monkeyloid really hasn't taken any hits, realistically. And that's a lot of dead Harbingers from Team 2. And it's going to be very, very useful. The Soothsayer is down, but hey, he does keep the territory online nonetheless. Strap Bomber's inbound. It's going to help a smidgen, but it's going to take a couple more runs to deal with it. Especially with the 2-star vetted and soon to be able to assume 3-star vetted Monkeylord, who's probably just going to go this way and call it a day. It would be kind of interesting to see him go that way with it. We do see Chicken is online on the eastern side. Nothing really defending this besides a bunch of PD. And speaking of PD, T1 PD, sorry, T2 PD of the Cerberus variety. Shield's coming online, offline. SMD's going to be offline. Chicken's already at 2-star vet, going to get close to 3-star vet with all this stuff killed. Team 1 bombers inbound, but a decent amount of the shielding and the lightning tanks will help deal with them quite nicely. You can see they're actually targeting the lightning, not the chicken. And there are ASF here to help just continue to push that. We have Team 1 assaulting the western front, Team 2 assaulting the eastern front on the middle of the map. And Ayahuasca still hanging out. He's almost back up to full HP, and he's at 5-star vet, so doing pretty well for himself over there. Armigers moving in to try to finish or protect the GC. PD coming online. Martyr 1 is going to retreat. We have gunships inbound. Target the AA first and target everything else. There's some Telemazer. I still keep doing that. target the AA first and target everything else. Yes, stuff will die, but that way the gunships will live longer, and he's doing that now. He's targeting all of the AA. That's dealt with. Going after the Percy's, it looks like. Monkey Lords probably should be the first target to go after, but, you know, looks like he's targeting them now. PD trying to be built as fast as possible, and the PD focusing the Monkey Lord. The one that's more heavily damaged is not actually being hit. Engineers are down. More Strat Bombers getting a little bit of AoE onto the second Monkey Lord. Nice grab there. And looks like the gunships that dealt with the first one. This base for Modern 1 is down. Was that his main base? Was that his main base? No, I think that was his secondary base. That's his main base back here. And that second Monkey Lord is down. And looks like the remaining forces from Team 1 are now going to be dealt with quite nicely. But again, that's decent reclaim for Team 2 to scoop up. Currently sitting at 111,000 mass on the field. And over there on the western side looks like it's about 60,000. Given all this, and we do see units stacking up. Othams and the, of course, Lightning Tank. There are Othams inbound. It looks like we don't see enough for a order of Othams, but looks like it's getting close on that count. Looks like it's probably about half a dozen. It's a side order. It's almost a full order of Othams. Looks that's not the right button. Anyway, eastern side, chicken and chicken and chicken. Chicken is dealt with. Monkey Lord did die, but with the cloaking, I thought he was going for teleporting. We went for cloaking instead. Engaging. Team 2 probably has no idea he's there. There are pingings going down and say, hey, there's stuff here, but I don't think Team 2 has realistically been able to deal with that comm yet. Lightning Tanks just eviscerate the remaining gunships from Ayahuasca, and it looks like Team 2 is going to just hold up here for now, and they're going to keep those forces back. The gunships just get eviscerated. ASF's not great position to fly over. They're not over top of them. They're on the edges. They're just being singed, but not necessarily evaporated. But they're still sitting there, and those lightning tanks can kind of still hit them. We do see another Monkey Lord online, another one being built by Ayahuasca, donated over, at least the engineers donated over to from Azuros. We have another Monkey Lord started for Failsafe. He has an SMD online. He has one loaded as well. Chicken. More mass fabs to the north for Team 1. Chickens are engaging, and our Zeros was able to get them out from their little hidey hole, and I still don't think Team 2 sees them. We have an air scout, not a spy plane, which means Team 2 still doesn't know that the comm is there, but there's a whole heaping amount of Percy's here from Team 1. A couple of charges at a bare minimum, at least 3 Corsairs inbound, kind of miss. There's 2 charges of Percy's from Team 1, and the laser on board of Zeros' comm will deal with that chicken, and the Percy's will as well. So nice grab there from Team 1. 2 chickens dead. Lots of Percy's will die, though, but hey, that reclaim is the most important thing. It's on Team 1's side of the map. Easy to reclaim. Team 2 barely in the lead for reclaim, but not by much. And again, Team 2's Dead 6's base is just being hit after hit after hit. The side order of Othams deal with most of the mexes. They're targeting the T3 land headquarters now, which I think should have been targeted by those missiles anyways. But it's going to be close. It's going to be close. They grab it just barely. Last couple of shots end up killing off the T3 land headquarters for the Cybertech for Team 2's Martyr 1. And he's lost a lot of stuff. He's lost this base here. He's lost a huge chunk of this base here. He still has invaders to deal with from Failsafe now. Gunships can't target those strats. The strats targeting mexes, I would presume. Yep. That one is down. Let's reclaim for Team 2 to scoop up, but they do kill off 27 plus mass the second. Team 2, then switch back over. Team 2 still behind in eco, but let me know down in the comments you think they currently win this game at 37 minutes. We still got at least 20 minutes of the game going, so we got plenty of time for one team and the other overpower each other. So thank you so much for watching this point in the video. Hopefully you enjoy. If you do, please hit the like button, subscribe, like all of the YouTube things that YouTube loves to see. I really, really do appreciate it. Let's go ahead and get back on with the action with Team 2's missile commander of still Tesla Max over here hanging out, not stopping the missile launching. And he's slowly eating away at mexes for Team 1's Zeros. Looks like some engineers are inbound, maybe going to assist with some TMDs, but that mex is down, and now they're switching over. It's just so much dead stuff over here. Northwestern side being completely ignored, not even using that. The only thing northwest is this. Lots of Othams, lots of lightning tanks. I would love to see a shield generator or two, just one of those, mobile ones mixed in just to protect those forces a little bit. But again, I get it. He's just trying to get as much firepower on the front line. Artillery started for 0, so long range tech has been started. And long range tech has also been started for Tetra in the south. So it's going to be an artillery game. And again, given the map that the way it is, I mean, the likelihood we were going to see that was pretty high. So it's just the way of things. If you don't have a clear land engagement or an easy land engagement, eventually it's just going to be nukes, artillery, that sort of thing. But gunships on the eastern side. Tesla Max's transport is down. I don't think he's getting out of there. He has some lightning tanks he's trying to keep alive, staying underneath the shielding. Oh, we'll keep him alive a little bit longer, but there's a lot of whalers here. They're going to wail on that com till he's dead. And there he goes. Team 1 finally scores a kill on Team 2. The ASFs arrive a little bit too late to assist. And that is going to be the end of the missile launching nonsense from Team 2's Tesla Max. 39 minutes. It's now a 3v3 tied up game. And I agree, not really super expanded upon by Team 2's Telemazer. Maybe, oh, that was a mass FAF, not a, look like artillery emplacement, but it is not. Everything transferred over to Tetra, so he has the eastern front. We have the western front for Martyr 1, and then we have the air for Team 2's Telemazer. Team 1, it's kind of split. We have Ayahuasca down the middle, Azeros on west and east, and then air under the control of Failsafe. Looks like he's starting a nuke, so long, well, the forever long range nuke is soon to be online. We do see some Corsairs inbound from Failsafe. No idea where they're going. Oh, okay, scratch that. I know where they're going now. Fat Boy online for Team 2's air player of Telemazer, which I think is interesting. He went for a Fat Boy, given he is the air player. But, it's going to be chased down by some chickens here anyway. So those chickens are pretty hungry after that ice cream sandwich. Corsairs and remaining bombers retreat back home. Shield is still down. And if there was, at least one more Fat Boy, this would be concerning for the chickens. But that first one will take a licking, but it shouldn't get killed off before it reaches the Fat Boy. There is a second Fat Boy, though, inbound. That's a different story. And guns are opening up on the Fat Boy. Shield is not ready yet. And that, too, will turn into one. There he goes. That Fat Boy is down. Harbingers are nearby. Gunships are nearby. Looks like they might be called in. There's a lot of lightning tanks here. And again, it's getting a little bit clustery over here. It's just a conga line of bricks and Othams and lightning tanks and the whatnot. And we have some Nathas inbound to help assist. Those Nathas missed. They do strike a couple of the Othams, though, so that's something. And the gunships were called in and go, okay, fine. I'll just go home now. Artillery from Team 2. Why are you striking at stuff that moves? Well, it's going to hit a couple of bricks and Othams. Nice grab there. Wipes out a couple of forces, but Sai says Dead 6 talking about artillery. Where says Azuros. Oh, look, Team 1's artillery is down or online going after Mr. Telemazer's position. And pigeons are being fulfilled in terms of its ringing of the artillery emplacement. 2 Monkey Lords on the eastern side. We have Monkey Lord on the far east side. Again, it's still a long way around, and there's a chicken still defending, and more stuff needs to be sent, but it's just such a long time to get anywhere close to Team 2's main bases that it just might not be worth it sending forces in that direction. Spy planes inbound, getting a readout what Team 2's up to. I don't know if they spot the nuke. Looks like the nuke might have been canceled, actually, by Team... Oh, no, it's still going. It's progressing. It's not super focusy, but, that's there. First artillery base done, starting a second immediately right after, getting more shield online, but love to see it. Make Sat, says Dead 6, talking to Mr. Telemazer. Well, if you can't have a laser on his chest, might as well have a laser in the sky at least. And looks like it's going to be Hephathams versus Hephathams. Fat Boy has been started once again for Mr. Telemazer, and it's sitting his air grid, so he needs to get more shielding on that. That's going to hurt here pretty soon. Shielding is down for now. Looks like ping going down about those bricks and those chickens and the whatnot from Team 1's Azuros. I think Azuros is starting to be, spread out. He has stuff here. He has stuff here. He has, of course, everything up here. Looks like the mass fat PGen nonsense. Not looking too hot. Looks like he upgraded the shielding, so that should protect them a little bit longer, but some of them are damaged. That can be an easy cascade. Either one of them blows up, and that's it. That whole little section is gone. And I'm going to assume Team 2 knows the location of the art. Oh, they do. Okay, never mind. They don't know everything happening. on that side of the map, but they do know where it is. Shielding back online. Mavor immediately started, and I'm assuming immediately spotted by Team 1, so looks like that's going to be a focus for a little bit of time. SMD might get hit. Telzamares are still getting shot at where he's actually sitting. Second artillery coming online for Team 2 as well. There's that chicken going up against that Myculoid. It will open up a little bit of the doors, but again, the chicken's going to win that fight most handedly. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. And an easy reclaim. It's literally right in front of some facilities, so nothing too crazy for Team 2 to get at this point. Eco is still favoring Team 1, but not by much. Reclaim is favoring Team 1 by about 25%? 33%? 33%. Comparison with Team 1 to Team, or Team 1 to Team 2. Or Team 2 to Team 1. Maybe it's 2, yeah, it's 2 to 1, not 1 to 2. Anyway, doesn't matter. Math is math, math is math, math is math. Fatboy does have a lot of stiff competition to deal with. We have a large group of orders of Othams. We have a brick wall or two. Looks like it's just one brick wall mixed in there. That's a lot of French fries from Team 1. I'm thinking of some commenter, somebody made a comment about how he just wanted me to say side order or order of Othams. Well, now all I can think about is just a side order of fries whenever I think of Othams, and that's just stuck in my head. It's like, that's a lot of French fries. Don't look like French fries, but they're definitely good to have because French fries are delicious. Anyway, couple of artillery now online for Team 1. It's 2 versus 1, I believe. Second one's still coming online, but it's really far behind. If Team 1 gets a lead in artillery, and they have a lead, if they have another one in the lead, so 3 to 1, might not be great. Artillery for the Mavor, the experimental Game Ender variety, is underway, but it's very far off. It's not even, well, it's a little over 10%. But Team 1, I thought, know about it a while ago. Yep, they can see it technically on vision if they zoom in. Which is, if there's any dead players from Team 1 still in the game, they can see it. They can zoom in and be like, hey, there's a thing there, you should shoot at that. Which I'm kind of regretting making a comment about it. Oh, this is the smidgen, because I think Team 1's now targeting that, which it looks like they are. So, oh, it's smidgen nearby, so maybe they are. So, caster cursing that. Apologies ahead of time. 3 Myculoids. Another Soothsayer from Ayahuasca. Lots of vision he's getting on this eastern side. He can barely see the chicken. You can see the chicken force inbound from Tetra now. He has the numbers. Large groups of Othams and a decent amount of those T3 mobile parashields. But again, it's 3 Myculoids. It's a lot of firepower. And those 2 chickens just scared of one lonely ice cream sandwich. Have you seen the map? Says Azuros. Just arty game now. I mean, he's making a comment about, like, that's not really viable for land. Yep. Same. He's like, it's just, there's, it's not really viable. Oh, look, another disruptor coming online. Or another one. A 1 disruptor coming online. He's built. Why are you building? Are you just dumping a bunch of mass? Oh, okay. He's just dumping all his mass. Okay. I was like, why are you building 2 at the same time? But looks like he just needs to spend it. Which, again, fair. So he's going to have 4 soon. Team 2 still only has 1. Soon to have 2, but still a way off. Artillery not looking too great. The air grid is gone. And artillery still raining in from Team 1. And now they're targeting the Mavor specifically. And those shields are not going to hold much longer. They are being assisted, but you need more shielding, more shielding, more shielding, more shielding, and a lot more assistance than just what is there. Because eventually it's not going to matter. Because those shields will be down, and all that assistance will go right out the drain. Or right out the window, I should say. Nuke is done. Half is loaded, or half loaded. Fat Boy still... Look at this. 2 chickens and a bunch of forces are just being bullied by a Fat Boy. Just 1. Not 2, not 5, not 20 of them. 1. And there goes the Mavor. There goes a couple of SACUs. And Marta 1's like, nope. Getting out of there immediately. Don't stand next to those. He's going to go around. Definitely a smart move there because that'd be easy. Ooh, there goes the shots. And shield... it's hit, but it's still alive. It's down in terms of its capacity. 1 Mex is down. There's 3 more. That's going to be a conga line. That's going to be a cascade. Shield's back online, but that's not going to last much longer against the firepower of that magnitude. We have 3 chickens versus 3 Myculoids and a fatty. But again, the fatty is helping out a little bit, and the chickens are going 1 by 1 by 1, so heavily in favor for Team 1. And the problem is with Team 2 is that they're walking into the Ion Storm. The Monkey Lord probably should move. Oh, it's going to be right there. Oh, that Ion Storm is going to activate right on top of that Monkey Lord. There it goes. Immediately raining in on both of them. Tons of lightning tanks. Wipe out those strats. Another Monkey Lord is down. Third Monkey Lord still hanging on there. Goes off the second chicken. And that third chicken, whatever order this is, that one's not going to live much longer. Fat Boy will be able to keep Team 2 at bay for a little bit. And how's the base looking for Mr. Telemazer himself? Nope. Not looking too hot, but 2 artillery's online, so hey, that is something. Did hear an explosion. Looks like the mass fab to the east got taken out. It's a little bit unfortunate for Team 2. They're losing eco. Team 1, 2,000. The Team 2 is 1.5, so that's 33% more than Team 2. It is a chunk. It is definitely a huge chunk too, considering it's getting more and more mass on the field. 3 artillery pieces, soon to be 4. Yeah, with that artillery battery right there, it's just not going to look good. Not going to look good for Team 2. They just don't have enough shielding. And even though they're getting more online now, they just don't have the shielding in place to just take multiple rounds back to back to back to back. You can see the shielding's already down. Artillery landing, hits the pigeon. That's not done, so that's something, but hits the Hovatham. Why does it look like it hits water? Why does it do that? And look, it's gone. The wreck is gone. Oh, barely alive. That second Hovatham. Shield pops back online, but just, it's not enough. Team 1 invested a little bit more into artillery, had a little bit more mass to play with, and now they have 3 of them. The Team 2's 2, and it's not even a contest. It's going to be an eventual, we are going to blow you up. And tons of shielding still coming online. Can't stop, won't stop. This artillery has been stopped, but again, it's pretty close to being done, so they can easily get a 4th one. And shielding, some of it's good, but again, this one isn't protecting a whole lot. It's not protecting the one down here. You really need a shielding right about there. It would be better. Shielding is offline. There's the shot, kills off that artillery piece, and there goes almost the other one. 90 hit points remaining for that T3 P-Gen. And there it goes. Tetra gets hit. Ooh, he's down into the 2700s. Not looking good. Artillery still raining in. P-Gen still going down. Shielding is not going to hold for much longer. How's his power? Still positive, but not by much. Oh, shield's going to pop online. There he goes. He's going to get healed up a little bit, but I don't know. There's still 3 of them. 4 of them? Nope, still 3 of them. 4th one isn't done yet. And the last remaining shots from Team 2 are done. And there goes Team 2's Tetra. He control Ks, and that's a legitimate control K. There's no P-Gens nearby. And, I mean, his base was essentially gone at that point anyway, so it really didn't matter. But that is a control K from him. Now it's a 2v3 in favor for Team 1 once again at 49 minutes. And I feel like at that point with the artillery down for Team 2, Team 2 doesn't have any other backup plan for long-range artillery or anything else long-range. In that matter, it's just not going to be that long before Team 1 crushes everything else that Team 2 owns to dust. And it's just going to be a long, just however long the players from Team 2 want to stay is probably how long the game's going to end up being. Four artillery pieces, all of the shielding, and then some. That's what I love to see. Look at them all. Look at all of the shielding. Magnificent, aren't they? There's all of that shielding. Gotta love the shielding. Most important, one of the most important things of the game is the shielding. And yeah, that air facility is not looking too hot. Ooh, Mr. Telemazer is getting hit by artillery still. Does Team 1 know where he is? No, they're just getting lucky where he is. And Marta 1 is over here next to a nice little P-Gen mass fab farm over there. And now he's going to stand next to a mass fab. That's probably not a good idea to stand next to that. Nuke that. Nuke what? Fail scout, so you can use nuke, says Legend Lord 2. Scout for SMD, Marta 1. There goes the nuke inbound from Team 1's failsafe. It's inbound for the experimentals, which, yeah, it's fine. Looks like there's another one inbound. Not the second one. Looks like that's the second one. Oh, control. Oh, no. A Zero's Telemazer's in. Kills off Marta 1. And GG's out in the chat. There goes the nuke. Kaboom. Wipes out a Fat Boy. Almost wipes out a GC. And at that point, there's really not much left here for Team 1. Right, for Team 2. Yeah, it's a 3v1 at this point. And there's 4 artillery pieces online. It's just not really anything that Team 2... The only thing that Team 2 could do is if he had a telemaser, then he could maybe try to snipe one of the players. But I don't think that's going to happen considering he's UEF and not Cybrid. We have Corsairs inbound. We have bombers, gunships stacked up. Here come the Corsairs and the bombers from Team 1's failsafe going after SMDs. Opening the door for the nukes. There goes the shielding. Nope. Wow, that's very close to going down, but he didn't end up losing it. Satellite now started. Kind of late on that front. Should have made satellites when Dead 6 made the comment about it. And where is the everything else? Team 1, there's 4 artillery more being built, or just, nope, just the 4. And then we have Novak's done, second one coming online, third and fourth. At that point, it's just build it because you have the mass for it. More strap bombers inbound. Really want that SMD dead. They won't grab it, though. The shielding is just barely holding. The artillery from Team 1 could easily wipe it out, though. SMD is here. That is loaded. SMD, of course, there. And SMD there. There's still coverage in the majority of the spots, but artillery landing next to telemasers come. Hey, look, he's going to get a Novak's online. Maybe. Ooh, maybe too early to take. Oh, no, he does get it online. And let's see how long does it last. Ooh, and there it goes. It doesn't get anywhere near operational or actually active. It just spun out its satellite and went nope. And that's a lot of dead SACUs. 55 minutes on the clock. Scouts just up the wazoo running around. They're going to find telemasers comm, and guess where Azuros, wherever he went over here, hanging out with a battery of missile launchers. Lots of batteries of missile launchers from Team 1's Ayahuasca. He likes his missiles, I guess. Didn't build a Billy nuke, though, on board his comm, though, considering. He did build a missile, though. And artillery raining in on telemaser's position. Like I said, it's just the beginning. It was the beginning of the end once the artillery was down. Here comes another nuke from Team 1. Mikey Wood is going to wipe out the SMD finally. But I just don't think it's going to be enough for Team 2 to live on much longer. He's going to get another shield online. He's just living as long as he can. Shields are offline. Hits the comm. The comm still has shielding on board his comm. Personally, sits next to a couple of SACUs that blow up. Here comes the nuke. Kaboom! Wipes out a chunk of base. But again, it doesn't really matter because it's already over for Team 2. There's the telemaser inbound. Mr. Telemaser is going to be telemasered himself. 57 minutes on the clock. There it is. Turns, faces him, and blows up with the death of Team 2's telemaser. Team 1 wins the game. 57 of 18 seconds on the clock. Team 1 wins. There were there are 2 bombers coming on inbound anyways. Jeez. He was just spending mass at that point just because he could. 2 satellites. But anyway, Team 1 wins, like I said. Team 2, again, they had some things going for them. I just think Team 1 was just a little bit ahead of the curve. You know, Team 2 was launching attacks onto Team 1. So Team 1 just had to defend. Didn't really have to worry about a whole lot. Why is there just why does this exist? But anyway, and mass was on their side of the map constantly from Team 2's efforts. We had 4 chickens, still weren't really moving, and 2 of them were sitting there for a while, and those were just mainly defenders, I think, at that point, really just protecting those artillery emplacements. Still kind of surprised Team 2 didn't go this way more, but it's so far out of the way. Same thing with over here. It's just so far out of the way, it doesn't make it super viable. And I think MVP for me, I mean, the artillery brought it home. Wiped out the artillery from Team 2. Of course, the Mavor was being built. That was going to take a while to finish, but had it finished, it might have been able to crack this position, maybe. There is enough shielding to withstand a Mavor for a decent while, but coupled with Team 2's T3 artillery here, that probably would have been enough. But like I said, once the artillery was gone and Tetra's death happened, it was essentially just downhill, and it was just finish the game at that point. Team 1 won it. It was just a matter of signing the documents and turning over the keys. But Team 1 wins it. Like I said, Azuros, again, gets MVP for me. I think generally I did like all of the missile batteries, the soothsayers, all of that from Ayahuasca just being very much an assistant, killing off tons of mass for Team 2. That helped out a ton and kept Team 2 down in the eco. So definitely a mention to Ayahuasca, but I think shout out to Azuros for MVP. Again, let me know down in the comments if you agree or not. I'm not right like any % of the time, so I'm just here. I just cast games, and I give my hot takes or my takes or whatever the case may be. But thank you so much for watching to the very end of the video. Hopefully enjoying your Monday if you're watching it on a Monday. If not, hopefully enjoying your day. If you're watching at night, enjoy your night. Whatever time of day, hopefully you're enjoying it, and I will see all of you in the next one.